distinguished guests, the President of the International Federation of Accountants, council members, ladies and gentlemen, professional colleagues, guests. I wish you all a good afternoon, and it is really a privilege to join you all here to discuss these very important subjects. I think a lot of groundwork has already been laid in the earlier session when we heard the minister talk about some of the economic transformation that is currently underway in Nigeria. And he actually enjoined us as accountants to partner and participate in that very worthy endeavor. And I think it is a very good introduction to this conversation that we're having today. Across the world and in Nigeria, there is an increasing trust deficit or a trust gap. Employees question corporate motives. Citizens question the integrity of institutions and political leaders. In fact, it wasn't lost to me that at the first session, when a statistic was read out from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, it was met with, let's say, skepticism. What does that mean? That is an indication of a lack of trust in institutions, isn't it? We heard that number of employment is a certain percentage, and the response in the room was, we don't trust that number. Okay? So there is a trust deficit. Investors and shareholders question and demand more transparency and accountability from management. As professional accountants, we have a role to play in closing the trust gap. Economic transformation is intricately connected to trust in institutions. Trust in institutions, trust in systems, and trust in leadership. Trust underpins confidence. It is the basis on which investors commit capital. It is the basis on which citizens pay taxes. And it is the basis on which businesses take long-term decisions when they believe the system is fair and credible. A lot of the efforts that the current government is making in terms of trying to attract foreign investment into Nigeria is really about establishing credibility and trust. Not necessarily having a conversation about the economic realities. It is, can we be trusted? For professional accountants, this means our integrity and objectivity directly influence how markets function and how policies succeed. Ethical leadership turns accountability from a reporting requirement into a way of thinking and acting. When that happens, transparency and trust become real drivers of economic confidence and progress. So for us as professional accountants, we serve as gatekeepers of financial integrity. Our work affects how organizations allocate resources, manage risks, and govern themselves. In many firms, certainly in my firm, PwC, and I think for everyone here, wherever you work, we work across jurisdictions and industries, navigating diverse regulations and cultural expectations. Despite these complexities, our responsibility to uphold the highest ethical standards should remain constant. When accountants like us lead with integrity, we help create stable markets, stable economic conditions. We foster investor confidence and enable sound policy decisions. These are all essential ingredients for economic transformation. So, what does ethical leadership mean? Ethical leadership means acting with integrity, fairness, and accountability. It is not lost to me that our motto in ICAN is, who remembers? accuracy, and integrity. And doing so consistently, especially when faced with difficult decisions. Trust is the currency of business and society. Without trust, our businesses and our societies cannot succeed and they cannot thrive. Every accurate report filed, every financial statement professionally prepared, every tax return accurately filed, every risk assessed fairly, every piece of advice grounded in ethical judgment builds that trust. Without this foundation, market confidence erodes, businesses falter, and economies suffer. So as organizations, we have to build culture of ethics in our different organizations. But these culture of ethics won't happen by accident. We must invest in ethics training and in continuous professional development. We must embed ethical principles into daily work and decision-making processes. We should also, as accountants and as organizations, embrace and leverage cutting-edge technology to detect anomalies and help us to prevent unethical behavior. And to help us also reinforce a culture where speaking up is encouraged and protected. Collaboration with bodies such as IFAC and ICAN, as well as the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, are all critical in helping us to raise the standards of ethics and to share best practices about ethical behaviors. By empowering our people to lead ethically, we strengthen our profession worldwide and align our collective efforts towards building a more trustworthy economic system. In closing, as accountants, we are not just number crunchers. We're not just there to prepare the numbers or to audit the numbers or prepare the tax returns. We are critical stakeholders in this very worthy endeavor of nation building. That is the essence of our profession, and that is what we must continue to stand for. If we lead ethically, act courageously, and keep our skills relevant, we will not only strengthen ourselves as professionals, but also shape a more credible, confident, and competitive Nigerian economy. For our economy to transform, it will begin with competence that is trusted and leadership that is ethical. When people can rely on our judgment and actions as accountants and leaders, believe in the integrity of our work, and seek consistency in our conduct, that trust becomes the engine that drives investment confidence and progress and will ultimately lead to the economic transformation that we all desire. Thank you very much.